Hi everyone, I'm attorney Ryan Locke. I represent people who have been injured and people who have been unfairly convicted from my office in Atlanta, Georgia. Today, I want to talk about a question I received. How do I know when it's time for me to go to court? And the answer is, you get one of these. It's a calendar notice. So, whenever the court schedules a court date, and this is particularly in criminal cases, they will send your attorney and you a calendar notice. Now, pre-COVID, the calendar notice would tell you to show up at the courthouse at a certain time and to a certain courtroom. Now, the calendar notices include the details on how to attend court virtually, either by Zoom or WebEx or some other type of service. The important thing to know is that these papers are mailed to the address on file for you at the courthouse. That means that if your address changes, if you have a lawyer, you need to update your lawyer, and if you don't have a lawyer, you need to update the clerk of court so they send it to the correct address. If you don't show up to court, the judge may issue a bench warrant, and that permits peace officers to arrest you and bring you back in front of the judge, and then the judge decides whether to reinstate your bond or revoke your bond or something like that. Now, if you have a lawyer, then your lawyer's probably talking to you about the court dates. Whenever I get a court date notice for one of my clients, I call them immediately. And that's both so that they know they have to appear, but also so that we can strategize about what to do at that court date. Now, in criminal world, in criminal cases, the court sets court dates, and we have some ability to change them. We can ask for a continuance if we have a good reason. For example, if we need to continue our investigation, if we have motions that we haven't prepared yet that we need more time to prepare, if we need more time to locate a witness or an expert that we've hired needs more time to complete their preparations, their report, and handing it over to the other side, or if the other side owes us discovery and they haven't produced it yet. In those cases, sometimes we'll file a motion for a continuance, sometimes we'll still have to show up to court, but we'll talk to the judge about what's going on in the case. In civil cases, on the other hand, it's typically much easier to arrange court dates because it's largely between the two parties when they want to go to court before trial. So, for example, if we run into a discovery dispute and one side files a motion to compel, generally we can advise the court, hey, these are the dates that we're all free. Can the court set a court date on one of those dates so that we can come in and argue the motion to compel? And there's a lot of stuff that happens in civil cases that don't require us to go to court. For example, depositions don't require any judicial officer. We handle them at one of the attorney's offices. And so it's very easy to set a date that everyone's available, or if something comes up, reschedule it. In our criminal appeal cases, the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court sets down what day we're to appear to argue, and it's very difficult to change those dates. Although we generally have a couple months notice, so we have time to move around our schedules. When we receive the initial docketing notice, and there's another video about what docketing notices are, so watch that if you're interested. When we receive the initial docketing notice, then the court tells us what month oral argument is going to be held. And as we get closer to that month, then they tell us what day oral argument is going to be held, either in the morning or in the afternoon, and they tell us what position we are in the calendar so we know if we're first or last or somewhere in the middle. The most important thing to take away from this video, if you have court, you must show up. And if you're not receiving court notices, you need to figure out why, either by calling the clerk, or if you're represented by a lawyer, calling your lawyer. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions, please leave a comment or shoot me an email. It's in the details below. like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos about legal topics like this. I hope you appreciated it. Have a great day.